and we still have the application. Well, Mrs. Turner gave me the old application, I went over it, and then I worked on it, Mrs. Turner worked on it. We know down the road we need to do it, so did you bring the application back? I'd like to review the application so we can at least have our application, what we want to bid for, ready to go on the next time.
I have, what I have is the operations director, one that we have now, and then I can get you the one we can work on with, as we come back to the items
Just
and go back and
We'll
forth.
table this one too if you don't have that work done.
I'll second the motion.
Motion on the floor to table item M, seconded by Councilman Mason, seconded by Councilman Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Table item 5-0.
Thank you, Councilman.
And item 4N, consideration and action to approve budget amendment number 1, ordinance 2017-001.
Let me make a point of order here, please, if I may. On the last two items, we had no room for citizens' comments. You know, you went ahead and voted on it without ever listening to us.
So we need to go back to L, M, K.
Okay.
No, there was none of it.
L and M,
Oh, L and M.
yes.
And
Okay. We'll go back to L.
L and M.
L and M, okay. Consideration and action to amend the city's organizational chart to add the position of Public Works Director. Citizens' comments?
Okay. I have to uncoil before I can get here.
Thank you very much. It seems to me, is that too loud?
Well, I can control it here, sir, so go ahead and speak.
Okay. It seems to me on those items, we can go ahead and take the action. Setting up a position or changing the charter doesn't mean necessarily you have to have the money at this point to hire. So to get ahead of the game, if you're going to do that, and I think you need to, then why not go through with the motions and the actions here? And fully understanding, we're not talking about hiring people here. We're talking about establishing positions, changing the charter, and so, I'm sorry, the organizational chart. And so why not do it and get ahead of the game? I would think, my point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments on item L? On item M, consideration and action to amend the city's job description for Director of Operations and change the position name to Public Works. Any citizens' comments? Okay, thank you.
can I ask a question? Director of Operations and Public Works, what is the difference? One works outside and one works inside?
No, we removed that.
No,
Oh, we're through already with that one?
is this the name
Just the
for
name, there's-
Public Works, is called the Public
They're both
Works.
the same.
An operations director can add extra stuff underneath. Public Works is basically related to the utilities, streets, roads. And we could have an operation director could take this building underneath if you wanted. So I tried to limit it to the utilities branch.
It was Public Works, but they changed it to something else.
And now they're going back to Public Works?
Okay, any other comments on that?
So what did we do with L? Did we take
Okay.
Table. Okay. Item 4N, consideration and action to approve budget amendment number 1, ordinance 2017-001.
Okay, Council, this is the first budget amendment of the year. And usually I come to you to do budget amendments that cannot be budgeted. This is one of the ones that by federal rule, we cannot budget these funds until they are going to be used. And these are funds that are sent to the police department and used as police discretion. The police had promised to make payments to the CapSync software that was purchased 4 years ago. And so this payment was already due in February 1st. So as the payment comes due, I have to do a budget amendment so I can budget those funds and make the payment. But I cannot make a budget amendment, I cannot budget the funds at the time of budget and then make the payment because that's not allowable by the law.
So the police department receives forfeiture funds. Okay, and so basically what the federal government is saying, or the state saying, that you can't budget for funds that you're gonna forfeit or take from someone. So it's not a dollar amount that we have ahead of time. But typically, and so far, the police department has had enough in that forfeiture fund to be able to pay for cop sync, which is what we wanted to do. So if you look at your second page, we have an email from from the police department saying that we can use these funds to pay this. So it goes from the police forfeiture fund to cop sync, which is their computer program for them to be able to pay. So the chief has discretion to use funds, but we're using this fund to pay for cop sync. Do the attorneys have any comments?
No, I mean, you pretty much summed it up.
My question is, you hand us a budget book, how do we know what's in the forfeiture funds? Because your forfeiture,
You can't budget for forfeiture funds.
where do we know the money's at?
They're at the bank.
The chief,
We
this
have to know
forfeiture
where it's
fund,
at, we gotta know how much they have, or
the forfeiture funds is all the police department.
they don't have to keep a record,
They keep a record,
and
and
we
it
don't have
states,
to know it as counsel what they have on their desk, is somebody says,
Oh, yeah, if you could ask for it.
yeah, but the point is, we don't know what they have in the desk, how do we know what we got this okay?
They do have it on a bank account that is, it doesn't belong to the city, but it's under the city's name. And then also it's on the city's books and it's on the balance sheet. And you do see it on the budget. I mean, not on the budget, on the audit. That's where you see it.
So
And
it's in
that's
the
where
general ledger, but not,
No, it's
Not
just-
our
Not on the budget. You will see it on the audit. That's where you see it.
So we need the,
and the state
The audit book.
yeah, and the state audits these funds as well. But the
Yes.
chief, the council can't vote to use it. The chief has to agree, and that's what he did via email, to expend these funds. And because it has to go through us, and we're the pass-through, we have to actually do a budget amendment to pay that, because that is a liability that we have on our books, the cop sync. The debt's to us, and they're using these forfeiture funds. Now, if you like, Councilman Easton, we can give you a copy of what the, what was on the account.
It's on the audit.
In the audit, and kind of can show you where it is, but the funds are available. But it's not funds that we use from our forfeiture, our funds that we use for our taxpayers or anything we see from sales tax. This is forfeiture funds that comes from the police
the
department.
only place we can find the forfeiture funds is in the audit every year.
It's the audit,
So
because
we
it's,
don't have no idea what they're.
Yes, you could look into it. When the police chief comes in, you could ask him how much we have.
Yes.
he has a state and a federal forfeiture fund. And I can ask him. in
And
his
those funds
next
can only
report.
be used by the police department.
Right, so they're wanting other things, and I'm just saying, the cameras, can they buy it out of the forfeiture funds? So if we knew how much they have, we could use their money instead of our money, the general fund?
So you can't supplant.
Well,
Okay,
because you can't
City police
say,
can only
Okay,
use it.
so that's called supplanting, that's called supplanting. Meaning that something that you had already budgeted for, you can't then say, oh, because he had a really big nest
No,
egg.
yeah, we already budgeted for it, so say,
Yeah.
I don't care.
So for example, one of the things that we did, the police department has used for forfeiture funds was in the tax bill 2015, they needed a new police vehicle. So the tax bill paid for half and the forfeiture fund paid for the other half of the police vehicle. But we don't know at any point in time how much is gonna be in there depending on whatever they forfeiture. So that's why
any
you can't
usage of
budget
those
for it.
funds would come before council as an ordinance.
So when they, let's say that we have enough in the forfeiture funds, then we have to come and do a budget amendment for us to pay for that. But at this point, they have enough to make this payment. The chief has agreed to make this payment, and so we're asking you to approve this budget amendment to allow us to make this payment.
Does it pay it off, or is it a monthly payment, yearly,
It's a yearly payment?
It's a yearly base.
of 27,000?
Yes.
And how many payments we have left?
We have only one more left. And the police car gets paid this year. So 2018 will be the last payment.
Yes.
Any other questions on this item? Any citizens' comments?
I'll make a motion to,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. See need to approve the budget amendment for number one, ordinance 2017-001.
And Councilman, since it's an ordinance, can you just read the, that bold part of the caption on there? The one that's in ordinance providing.
I'll make the ordinance providing for amendment 1 to the operating budget of the city of Floresville, Texas for the fiscal year 2016, 2017. Do you want to read the fee?
No, that's
Okay.
fine, yes, okay.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Jimenez.
Councilman Jimenez, Councilman Nissen just read it into the record.
Seconded by
Me.
Councilman Neeson. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 5-0. I'll also entertain a motion to go into executive session. Item 6A, pursuit of section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, compensation of our attorney, to convene in closed session to discuss contract execution authority. I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
It's 9:10.
We will be back as soon as we can.
Can you read the time into the record?
Okay.
Thank you.
9:10.